I'm the man, yes sir, to kill the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the Parker Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too sharp, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding together, we all get money.
You better believe that. We ain't playing.
I'm raising the roof.
Late ill kid at OneYoungsta. Hold it
roof.
down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today all year. Coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, You Best Believe It. That's the beats, the vibes of life. And I'm not by myself. You know what I'm saying? We got everybody up in the spot. We're going to go right over here, get it started. Arckatron, introduce yourself.
Hey, I am Arckatron. I'm in the place to be. It's the ARCKATRON, but I'm .com. Pick it up.
Wear my Adidas real tight.
And right here, you know what I'm saying? Fleece is white as snow.
Fleeces in control. Please get that. Listen to it. Stream that.
Anwar Highsign.
I'm fleeces.
Oh,
Fleeces.
man.
Fleeces. Let's go.
Antoine Allen said Woods for the children, of course. And of course, Jenna James came in and said CLB in the building, LMAO.
Okay.
So don't start that.
All right, so we got 3 albums to get into. We got a lot going on. We got 3 albums to get into. But we're gonna start with someone who is, you know, his album came out first. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little while. Mr. Nasir Jones. Yeah, Nasir Jones. King's Disease 2.
Like
Biscuit Allah. Fistful of dollars in the dice.
You know I love part 2s.
Yo,
You know,
your
matter of
favorite,
fact,
fam.
speaking of that, since we know how you feel about part 2s, let's go in and we're going to touch on this album. Arckatron, you start first. How do you feel about King's Disease, a numero dos?
I like it. I like like off tops. There's like half of it I like. I'm like, okay, Hit Boy. All right, Nas. Okay, good.
All right.
Then there's other ones will probably grow on me as I'm listening to the albums again. But this one, I'll go back to. Definitely.
Okay. Mr. Highsign.
I love it. You guys know how I feel. Nas is at my one spot. He's unmovable from my one spot. Greatest of all time to me. I feel like this album is an improvement over part one. We're gonna get into it.
All right.
What did you think, Mr. NERDSoul? Please tell us. Tell the people.
I turned on the album. As the nose way. I really like it.
Set the scene for it. Give us the whole.
I turned on the album. I was at this time. I was in Virginia.
Like LL Cool J right now. I turned alone in my room. Turn on the album.
I was in the room in Virginia back when I was in VA, and I said, "Let me see what this Nas got." I turned it on. The music started to hit my eardrum, and I was pleased pleasantly all the way through. There were a couple of things I was like, but for the most part, this is another number 2 from one of my favorites that definitely delivers. We got ELE 2, and now we got King's Disease 2.
Oh, so, I thought you were gonna say Blueprint 2.
Whoa, wowzers.
Wu-Tang is for the babies. It's a redirect.
No.
The council asked to redirect.
I'm gonna have to strike that from the record because
the jury will strike that from the record.
Yeah, because there ain't gonna be no Blueprint 2 up here. I think we've had enough of the Blueprint 2.
Blueprint 2 ELE 2. Wow, so we've had 2 part 2s this year. 2 successful part 2s this year.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Looking good.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Might be looking up for part 2. It might be part 2 season. Might be coming.
Might be about to turn.
So you're saying we should drop I Hate Part 2s this season? You're just saying.
Stick Figure came through here and said Donda will grow on you. Now, I just want to say we ain't touching on Donda yet. You know what I'm saying? We ain't on Donda yet.
I hate part 2. We got to do that. We got to do it. We're going to talk about it.
All right, cool. So I'll say this. The biggest part that I don't like about, I know people ain't going to be happy. The biggest thing I don't like about King's Disease 2 is Eminem. Way to ruin a song, buddy. There you go. That's that. I'll say that.
Can I say something like really like strange for me at least?
Go ahead.
So I listened to the album. Me and Sean have a thing that we like to do. Like we'll listen to an album the normal way, and then we will listen to it in an alternate way. And it brings out different things when you listen to it the alternate way. You latch on to different things, you notice. So I've digested it this way, that way, flipped it and bounced it. And so I'm listening to it with my ears, right? And I'm like, man, I'm not feeling this. Like you over rapping. This is like, I really just wanted Nas and EPMD. I didn't really need this person. But then like a couple of things happened.
Okay.
One thing was somebody informed me that Eminem was really big on EPMD. Like he really loved EPMD.
Did he love everybody? Every time we hear a story, he loves somebody old. He always loved.
Eminem is like really, really a hip hop head. We can't take this away from him.
Okay.
He's like he's very knowledgeable about hip hop. He's very into, all of our greats and all of our idols and our people that are really revered.
Floorboards on the smorgasbord and the
floorboards and the core boards and the floor boards.
Cork boards on the floorboards.
So that to say like him being on the song was like probably a big deal for him.
Okay. To
be on a song with EPMD. So of course, when you're an MC and you get on a song with somebody that's a big deal to you, the natural inclination is to try and go as crazy as possible. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna just like do all the flows. I'm just gonna go super, super duper.
He said I'm gonna do all the flows.
I'm gonna do all the flows. So that's one thing. So take that, we set that aside real quick. Oh, shout out to my AirPods. I've been listening to Donda now. Now they need the remote control.
You need that remote control.
Let me see.
Let me drop it like this. Drop it like this. Drop it like this. Drop it like this. Can y'all say something so I can make sure I'm on?
All right.
Yeah.
What up?
Yeah. Check. One and two.
So then the other
Flip
thing,
mode,
right,
squad.
that I considered, right, was how I was listening to this verse. I was listening to this verse as me, the guy who doesn't necessarily love that kind of like fast super syllable rap and this and that. But I swear to you, I was critiquing it for one of my mans. I was like, yo, he's doing this and this and that. He's over rap. He's doing blah, 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 blah. And then I sat back and I thought about who likes this verse. And I was like, yo, from a Royce the 5'9" perspective, this verse is kind of hard. And I swear to you, like that, like made it click for me. It was like just like taking myself out of my own shoes and attempting to view it through a different lens.
Through another over rapper's perspective?
From another rapper's perspective, from someone who's like, okay, let's view it through the metrics that he would use.
Okay.
And let's evaluate it in a different way, because I'm going to have my knee-jerk reaction to it as someone who's like, yo, nah, like I want it this way, not that way. But okay,
right.
Like if we were looking at anything else,
all right,
they would tell if you had an issue with someone or it was something, let's say it was political or a criminal issue. Let's say it was anything else. A person might say to you, try and view it from their perspective.
Okay.
And you'd be like, okay, I'm a reasonable human being. I'm going to view it from his perspective. All right, I see where he's coming from. I agree with this. I don't agree with that. So viewing it from that perspective, I was like, okay, I see how this verse is kind of hard.
Okay, because from Eminem's standpoint, he's like, yo, this is the illest I got to give. This this is everything.
I gotta go so crazy.
These are my most intricate, most
the
rapidy rap lyrics that I got to give.
It might not be for you or Arcka or me. The verse is for Eric and Parrish. You see what I'm saying?
All right. And Eric and Parrish might be like, oh snap.
Eric and Parrish are like, oh, like, yo, he did all the flows. Did you hear?
Yeah, you did floorboards and the small boards. So you know what? I give it to you.
Got
on the real
18 different cadences in that verse.
Yeah. I will. You know what? Antoine Allen said he put the poop emoji and said no, LOL. But you know what? You've opened my eyes to it.
I don't expect everyone to.
You know what? You've opened my eyes though. I get it because you like yo. All right, check it. This is how many chances I'm gonna get a chance to do it? Song with EPMD. So let me go McNasty on it.
From a technical rap space, people here's the thing. People think it's easy to rap, and it's not.
No,
the mastery is making it look easy.
Yeah,
you think you can rap like Eminem, but I promise you can't. Even if you think his songs are trash.
Yeah,
you're not going to be as good as him in your lifetime. It takes years for this.
And you got to be doing it every day.
When he's doing a cadence for an extended period of time, there's a cadence in there where he's like, da 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 da, and it all rhymes the same word. And it's longer than 8 bars. You know how difficult that is?
Yeah.
Fam, I've been rapping for 20, 30 years, fam. Me.
Yeah, trust me,
I've been rapping since I was like 10 years old, fam. That is not easy, what he's doing on the song. It may not necessarily be enjoyable in the way that with like math rock or whatever, like some of these other genres of metal that are like it's the rap version of that. Like, it's super technical. It may not necessarily be enjoyable for us, but I have to respect the technical side of it.
Yeah. But when the judges judge, there's also other things besides the technicality. But I will give him that.
In your realm, Duke.
And you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, in any realm, in the Olympics, you got the technicality, you got the degree of difficulty.
I thought he was gonna grab that one.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Your realm, Duke.
but honestly, I see. Because if I was on the track with EPMD, I'm like, oh snap, I gotta step my game up.
I wouldn't approach it that way personally, but
I mean, I can see that mindset, like, yo, I gotta step my game up. I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying.
And like,
he ain't gonna punch it.
Because see, like the way I wrote songs and write every now and then, but don't drop any joints, barely, is I would see like, what are we talking about? What's I'm gonna be honest. I got one sitting on the shelf from someone sitting in this room. And I've actually shot half of a video for it. And then I got a joint for SP that I got one verse of. And then I got busy behind life stuff. So I'll be honest. But you know what I'm saying? From my perspective, I'm like, cool, what are we talking about? All right, how can I spin a way to be in line with you guys, to be in the pocket with you guys, but also bring a unique perspective? You know what I'm saying? That's why when I listen to it, I'm like, yo, they over here. And you went way over there. But at the same time, I can get it now.
It's an interesting case of like him fiercely doing what he does. Like, instead of trying to outdo Nas at what he does or outdo EPMD at what they do, like, he just decided to fiercely do what Eminem does.
Okay. For
better or worse.
Yeah. And see, that's not my route. But now that I think about that, I'll get you. Because I remember having a lot of issues in the studio before about people being like, I'm trying to be the best person on this track. And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to make the best track. And I'm just trying to make the best track. Like I'm just trying to make the best track. Like I mean, I'm not trying to beat you. Like, we're on the same team. We're making the same song. Like, we're like how do we make this joint sweet? Like, I don't want to know what you're talking about because I'm trying to like outdo you. I want to compliment what you're saying so we can build this. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I'm telling you what I'm saying so we can be on the same page. So it don't seem like I'm way over there and then you way over there. But I know, you know what I'm saying? I also understand there's a huge competition point in hip hop. Yeah, see, I know there's a huge competition point in hip hop, and I get that. So I understand that.
Well, here's my philosophy about it.
Your philosophy?
Feel like, it's all philosophy. It's all nuance and philosophy, all of it. When the way I feel about outdoing a person on a song, or like murdering someone on their own track, I feel like if you think that I'm dangerous, then you will try to murder me. Not necessarily because you want to be for me, it's a sign of respect.
Okay. I get where you're coming from.
You don't feel threatened by someone, you don't bring your A game. You just write a rap and it's a rap and it's cool. And a lot of cases call for that. But when I'm on a track with someone who I respect, it's my way of showing them that I respect them.
Okay.
Steel sharpens steel.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and take your head clean off your shoulders, not in a friendly competition way. In a friendly competition way. I'm not gonna like be sneak dissing you on your own song or something weird like that. But I want you, who is sharp, to be a person who's on the song who is your song and you're sharp. And I think you're sharp. And then I come and I go crazy. I want you to be like, man, you went crazy. That makes me feel like I've done my job. That's the validation dance between two sharp MCs.
All right, I get you. Okay. I'm here.
Right, if you don't respect, you ain't gonna try. You gonna get on the song with Black
no, don't get me
Thought,
wrong.
though,
I'm still like, trying. I'm still working my hardest. I'm just not trying to like. I guess my mindset's not like that. My mindset's not like. If
you're on a song with Thought,
yeah,
you're gonna be like, yo, I can't get, because you know that.
Yeah, but it's more for me. It's more of a, and I think I said this on a show before. My process is like yo, more of like I don't want to let this person down because they let me on this song. Like so I want to do something that's impressive, so they don't be like, yo, man, I brought this dude in here and like, yo, he sucked. So
he didn't even show out.
He ain't even do nothing. So, but it's a similar mindset. But I get where you're coming from. There is like a respect thing. Similar. Like you came hard. So that's you came with it and brought all your heat. So I can respect that because
But also you wouldn't like try to like you would like Eminem didn't show off. Eminem just did Eminem. So like you would be still what you would do. You just obviously you still have it. Maybe Eminem felt the same way. Like I don't want to bring it out. I gotta bring my A game. You know what I'm saying? He might feel the same way. That's it. So like it's just people bringing the A game in different ways. And sometimes it's like, are you overdoing it or are you just bringing your A game? And this is what you feel your A game is. Just go to blitz. Like go crazy. Like what? What's happening?
And even in that, like he was showing up because like he's who we're talking about right now. Like we're having the extended talk about his, because it was like, well, what's happening now? Like,
it was definitely noticeable.
You've been going. This is like 40
I think he did the same thing with Kendrick. I think he did the same thing with Kendrick. That Kendrick track is like, what is happening? There's a lot going on with that.
Because Kendrick will kill. He will effortless. Like he's like like an animal, like a bear or some shit that doesn't know it's that just flicker your wrist and you'll fly. So you have to be like, yo, fam, like, listen, I'm gonna go so crazy because I know you're gonna go so crazy.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
Buster,
it was the same
like
thing.
A fast like sword fight, like
sped up, Him and Buster, the same thing. Like, yo, I sent you the verse. He sent me the verse back, and it was I sent him 16. He sent me back 24. I sent him 32. He sent me 40. He sent me. They're trying to outdo each other because they respect each other so much.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. You know what, Eminem, I will table this. You know what? We're here. All right. Now, normally, but I have been accepting of different perspectives. I'm sure it's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? So, we here. All right. You still, but we here. All right. Any other standout joints that we want to talk about? Because I got 2 on my mind that I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I just like hearted everyone that I liked. Like this one, I want to go back to. I like this, right? This is the one. So on his album, I have counting. Sorry, I'm counting in my head. So I have 7. 7 of the 15. I'm like, yeah, this is it.
That's a pretty good connect rate.
What you say?
That's pretty good connect rate.
Yeah, for me that was like.
Did you feel like any of them were just trash or like, yo, this is definitely not for me? Even if I think it's trash.
I believe it's the 40 side track. Was the first one. I was like, 40 side. It's like the third track after Death Row East. That track, I'm like, nah.
I will say 40 side for me does. It seems to break the energy. But I think if we move 40 side later in the album, it does well after. Hold on, what's the song? If 40 side came after YKTV, or maybe after, after No Phony Love, either YKTV or No Phony Love, I think 40 side would have been better. It threw the tone changes. Like,
that made me actually stop and have to go back to it weeks later. Like I was like, I ain't listening to this album.
I like that. I went back to it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like 40 side. Man. I like that.
Yeah. 40 side is one that I listened to and I was just like, I'm feeling it, but I feel like we stopped the energy. The energy was cool, and I feel like we slowed way down. But if there's a track like YKTV or maybe what was it? What was number 10? No, sorry, not No Phony Love. Then I probably feel different because the energy changes on those two. The Pressure I thought was a great way to open. Death Row East, of course.
The energy.
But what is it? Rare. I really like Rare. And on the sneak, Brunch on Sundays. All right, I know. Look, all right, hold up. Look, okay.
Yo,
all right.
Brunch on Sundays. Hashtag Sunday Fun Day. Let's go.
Look, all right. I know. Before we get started, I know it's Brunch on Sundays, and I know it's more of the like I'm rich rap. I know it's the I'm like rap. I mean, it's because okay, we've always in hip hop, braggadocio has always existed, but now that hip hop is hitting to a point where there's like a couple billionaires walking around, now there's like this like hyper wealth rap where there's like I guess that's the only way I can term it. I mean, somebody else has probably said it better in some kind of genius article or something, but there's like this hyper wealth rap where it's like, I'm a billionaire. You can never ever touch me. And like, I have planes and boats and like, oh, you thought I was cool with the BMW. Now I have 2 drivers that have 2 other drivers unless they ever get sick. Like it's just a whole nother, it's kind of like the sketch on Give Me Some More. Like, right, it's like this crazy level of like wealth that I probably ain't gonna see that, but you never know. All right, the people watch NERDSoul. Once the people that watch NERDSoul start telling everybody else they're watching NERDSoul, you know, once Michelle Obama gets on her Instagram and says like, "Yo, what NERDSoul said yesterday, he was 100% on that." Once those people start saying, then you go see, Michelle Obama. Yeah, she don't worry about that.
No,
but I'm saying,
Sundays. It ain't nothing but brunch on Sundays for Michelle. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So
hashtag Sunday Fun Day. You feel me? at Michelle Obama. Hashtag Sunday Fun Day. I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I have a soft spot for that song as well.
Oh, what? Okay.
It's absurd. Don't get me wrong. Like it's so sort of like probably the closest we'll get to Nas' dad rap in a way. Like it's kind of, but it's like
kind of like what they were trying to do with that Khaled song with Jay-Z, but they didn't hit the mark. Oh
Lord.
Yeah, like it is like that uber wealthy hyper rich rap. Like
the hyper wealth.
The hyper wealth rap, but it's like
hyper wealth.
There's something like kind of charming about the way he approaches that on that songs. Is like when I listen to this album, the whole album strikes me that way. Like when I was listening to that album, well, I've listened to it numerous times, and it just hit me as I'm listening to it. Like I don't relate to Nas anymore. Like he's relatable as an MC. Like I enjoy the music, but the wealth gap is so great between us and him.
Yeah.
That as he describes things that he's going through, and even as he like embellishes on or makes up things, as all of us rappers do, like make up scenarios, make up or draw on real experiences. Those experiences are all things I can't relate to because it's like every weekend is the Rock Nation brunch for him. Like it's super crazy. Like,
There's never a regular weekend where he's like, all right, well, let me go and stand and, you know, like I got to do the clothes this weekend or something like that. He has like a main.
Extravagant. The whole album is so extravagant. And the thing is, like, you come to this realization that it's not fake. Like, it's not like other rappers where it's like, y'all are being rappers. It's like, no, you're actually probably living exactly like that. Matter of fact, you're probably leaving things out.
Yeah, it was there was this show.
Like your Sunday brunch was just like the song, fam.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
that was just, you literally told what happened with you and Steve Stout and your other homies.
And everybody I will say there was this show Nas was on, I don't know, maybe like 2016 or something like that. And it was like this real estate show, and somebody was showing him like a apartment or something, or a high rise in New York. And when I saw how high it was and that it had like this perfect view of Central Park and all this stuff, I was like, yeah, Nas got that real money. Like, because he wasn't talking about renting it, he was talking about buying it. And the only reason he didn't buy it is because he still felt weird about living that high in the air. Like that. So when you can turn down, buying this crazy Central Park view, because they were like, I don't know, like 30 stories up. It was super high. And it was like this, when you looked out the window, it's this beautiful view of like Central Park and all this land and everything. But he was just like, it's so high and I don't know about living this high. It's kind of weird looking out the window. Because the way they did the window is almost like, I mean, of course he was like this double paned and all this protection glass or whatever. But the way it looks is like, you could just be like, whoop. It's just like, it does look weird. It looks like you could just walk out there. So, but at that moment, when I was like, he turned down this place, not because he could not afford it, but just because it was too high. That's when I realized, Nas, you made it. You're done. You're finished. You made it. I mean, you can make more money, but you're finished. You're absolutely done. More money. Yeah, you will, but I'm just saying, like right now, you're done. More money.
Like, your net worth on Google, which is probably still wrong, is like $7 million.
Yeah, so especially when you think about a lot of these people have assets that folks don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've seen the show Billions. I know what's going on. Y'all got gold bars and stuff people don't know about. You got stacks of cash and houses overseas. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. So I'm just saying. I mean, from 100-aire to a billionaire. I'm just saying. I'm peeping your moves, Nas. All right. Well,
you peeping
from a comfortable 1,000-aire
to movement. Yeah. Hashtag Sunday Funday, man.
Yeah. So, any other standout joints from here before we move on to the?
We being gonna talk about Lauryn Hill. What y'all think about the verse?
I was gonna try to like shy from that because I have mixed feelings.
You doing these?
Yeah, I was.
Store Run. I'm really big on Store Run. That joint's really tight.
Store Run's good. That's a good one. That's
I really like YKTV, which on paper doesn't seem like it would sound great, but it to me, I really like that joint. I thought it worked way better than it sounds like it would work on paper. I want to say Composure. Yeah, Composure.
Yeah, Composure. I got it.
Yeah,
on that one.
Hit Boy rapping on that joint, and Hit Boy's actually busting on that joint.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
What else? I want to say hold up. Let me make sure real quick.
I want to go.
You look at moments right quick.
Oh, okay. While he's doing that, I will say I will say a real quick thing about Lauryn Hill. All right. It's not that I don't like her verse. All right, Lauryn Hill comes through in the song. She really does. It's good to hear her voice, like straight up. But then Twitter goes crazy and over leverages, and to a point because so I hear a song, I'm like, oh snap. Then I hear, because I try as much as I can not to look at any track list or any like features, anything. I just listen to the album, like just turn it on, press play, and see what happens, right? So when I heard her voice, I was like, oh snap, word. And I was like, cool, this is dope. And I liked her verse and all that. But then something happens on Twitter where there's an over leverage of this conversation of her being like the greatest female artist and the greatest rapper. And that kind of soured me. And I know that's an outside, outside external factor, but something about that conversation coming up again was like, dude, she ain't all that. And it's not that she ain't all that. It's just that they go so far that I'm like, no, y'all gotta come back down. Because
it goes so far that you pull back.
Yeah, it's like, because I love Miseducation. I think it's great. I think the girl can rap. I think the girl can sing. I think she can act. But I also can't throw out the fact that she's looking at let's say like 2.5 albums. Really one, if we just want to say, if we want to just say Miseducation. But a lot of people want to throw in Fugees, you know what I'm saying? And the first one that basically nobody really talks about.
You want to throw in Fugees and her solo discography?
A lot of people want to throw it in. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, at most we can say 2 albums.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, she got 1 album.
She has 1 album.
She hasn't produced enough.
Do you not count that?
Oh, what? Say what?
Unplugged, the Unplugged joint. Do you count that?
I guess we can count that because
all new songs.
Yeah.
New songs.
So we'll do that. We'll say she has 2 albums. But from my perspective, as a straight rapper, she hasn't produced enough to be in the conversation with other women that are rappers. Not to say that she can't rap or that I wouldn't like to hear her on a song with them, but to start saying that she's the greatest woman rapper or female rapper, however you want to term it, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's fair. Especially not on one verse with Nas coming back. I just don't think it's fair when we have other women that have been producing, you know what I'm saying? Not just one real album and then like another album for Unplugged, but like producing album after album after album, continuing through the years. It's hard for me to give her that. And then when I see people on Twitter going crazy, like, she's the best woman that ever rapped, I'm just like, reel it in. Reel it in. So it's no diss to her. It's just that they go so far. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. What'd you think of it, Arcka?
Oh, Lauren? It was good to hear.
Yeah, it's a Lauren.
It was good to hear her verse. It was good.
Yo, you have looking at Sundays over there, man. What's up?
I love how he was like, oh Lord, yeah.
You having brunch on Sundays over there, man? What's the deal?
Oh, man.
No, it was good. Yeah, it's good, and I don't have anything like extra. Like it was good. It's good to hear her voice, hear her rap. It's been a minute since I actually heard her rap like that in her voice. Cool. That's it. That's it. I mean, I thought that's one of the ones I
saw her on the track list, fam.
I like the joint.
Like,
it's a
I
throwback.
saw her on the track list, and I was like, if Nas gets her to rap,
he
really is the greatest.
He really is the greatest.
Yo, you really him. You him.
Yo, man. Nobody's been able to get her back. Well, I mean, not nobody.
She should have rapped on Five Rule in the World. Anything that would have been dope.
That would have been dope.
You know what? A verse from her on that would have been great.
On it, but if she would have, I do feel like them back in that time, like at the height of their powers,
that would have been dope.
You would have had to put effort into making that miss back in that time.
Missed opportunity.
Man. Wow. Man. Just think that just a little verse, even if she just did, or maybe if it was like he did the first verse, the second verse they trade off, and the third when she does the whole verse, and so just any mixture of kind of a verse from her in there would have been wow. That could have been. I mean, the song is already good, but just saying like that, wow, that could have been special.
Song's classic, but that would have been.
Yeah. All right. So Antoine Allen says, "LOL. I always try to ignore Black Twitter overhype. I say 1 album because Miseducation was in too much litigation for credit." Huh. Well. I mean, it's still her album.
But
still same song.
Is that an indictment on the quality of the album, though? Like, it being in litigation and the battles over credit and this and that is a separate conversation from whether or not the album is good.
Yeah, because I mean, it's still her lyrics.
Or it should be.
Mostly her lyrics, and you know what I'm saying, depending on who you ask. We'll just say at least mostly her lyrics. It's all her voice. She's doing. Oh, go ahead.
Is that her voice? She's singing and she rapping. That's her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like,
I'm trying to ask if she got a ghost singer.
No, I'm just saying, like, because when people come in, like, you know how people come in and say they want credit and they'll be like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, like, I gave her those lines, or I taught her how to sing that part. Like, people do stuff like this all the time. So I'm like, yes, I get it, but for the
I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it though.
He said it's a consult.
It's I've been watching Grey's Anatomy, so I'm just all.
I see you.
It's like this little console coming, fix up this line, fix up this.
Hey, word. So
like full credit, like I wrote the whole song. Like, no, come on.
Nah, bro. All right, so we have covered 100%. King's Disease too.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so other joints that I really dug, Count Me In. I really dig Composure. Yeah, man. But I love the whole album though.
I've listened to Death Row East like numerous times. I ain't gonna front.
My Bible, Death Row East is dope. To me, I think the album, I don't think there are any trash songs in the album. He just like hurt my feelings at the end of the album. That's the only real problem I have with the album, is he hurt my feelings at the very end of it. Because he was so, and he says like this really insensitive thing in the last like 20 seconds of the album. And I was like, why?
What does he
say? Wait, can you say?
He says a thing about like death to the no hope having, like something to the effect like death to the hold up. Let's just do
I know
this.
what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't, because I had to think for a second. I was like, I don't remember anything insensitive, but now yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, you ain't got no hope.
I have to the pessimistic
Pardon.
Like a whole low spirit motherfuckers.
So he's like deaf to the, like basically saying like, if you're depressed and like are low of spirit and you're feeling hopeless, death to you. More life to the kings and queens living handsome, king's ransom. We did it, Hit Boy. And I was like, man, like, I just felt like it would have been a good opportunity to be like, yo, fam, like if you're in this space, like, yo, I hope you get here where we're at. Like, yo,
yeah, I
blessings to you or energy to you that you come out of that.
I'm sending y'all a spirit bomb, you know what I'm saying?
Death to you, fam.
He was like some Game of Thrones, like, you know what I mean? Trial of combat.
These are like
death to you.
Death to you. And these are all things that I personally have struggled with throughout my life. So like when I'm looking up to Nas, like, man, like I could, like this is my guy. And like, I want to get up, I want to be in high spirits like this. And anyone who wants to be, who's like listening to this and it's like really maybe helping them through a rough patch or whatever the case may be. And then it's like, yeah, but death to you though. Appreciate you buying the album. Hit Boy, we did it.
Much love, death to you though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like the coldest curve. I was like, man, fam. Like,
yo, okay, you know what? I didn't take it like that.
Imagine you.
I didn't take it like that, but
and Nas comes out and you're like, man, Nas my favorite. This gonna make me feel better. And then you in the car bumping it like, man, I'm glad that I got out today. I got some sun and playing that new Nas. And he like, yeah, death to the no hope having low spirit motherfuckers. And you're like, man, it's screwed. Like, yo, forget it. I'm ending it. Forget it. Let's go. I'm out of here.
Antoine Allen said, Joe Clark said, go ahead and jump.
He said, go ahead and jump, man.
Go on, jump. Like, you smoke crack, don't you?
And I was like, damn, why did you need to like a
But he turned Sam's around though. He's trying to give
rewording of that would have retained the same message, but also sent positive energy to people who are struggling.
Word up. That's real, for real. I didn't take it like that, but now that I think of it that way, yeah, it does. If if you're in a certain space, you could definitely take that. Like, I thought it was more of a diss to people that's just like, you know, kind of like hating on him that ain't on his level. But
I give you an example, right? So my Kami's album that recently dropped, Pray for Haiti. There's a song on there called Murder Season. At the end of the song, he says like, yo, murder season means like we're murdering that lower vibration. We're murdering that negative energy. We're murdering that negative mind state that's holding you down, that's breaking those chains. We're going to get on this tight time now. And I'm like, there you go. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm here with you. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm strapping up. Let's do it.
All right.
And then Nas is like, yeah, jump off the building though, fam. You like, yeah, you know, yeah, Nas, man, I was in therapy and I was helping. Oh, you was in therapy, huh? All right.
All right, now Tyler Bennett says positivity from a guy that calls himself Crypto Scarface. Y'all still holding on to that line?
Why did y'all, yo, chat, why did y'all hate that line so much? Somebody in the chat, break that down for me. Like, why do y'all hate Crypto Scarface so much?
Yeah, what's the cryptocurrency Scarface line? What is it about that? Or maybe it's one of those cases where...
For those who don't know, Nas did invest in Coinbase, I want to say. I want to say it was Coinbase and he invested in. So yeah, like he did make money off crypto in a couple of ways probably. But why do y'all hate that line so much? Like, what's wrong with
I wonder... even Shot by Nolan said, why y'all stuck on that bar for real though? I wonder, is it that, well, you know what, let me ask this. Since Nas has always been seen as more of the not as like flashy or braggy type of rappers, is that it? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like people like, hey, when they heard that line, it kind of feels like you're losing a little bit of your Nas. You know what I'm saying? Is that it? You know what I'm saying? So Tyler Bennett says any version of Scarface is unexceptionable. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm gonna let you have that.
Unacceptable.
Don't you mean unacceptable?
Unacceptable?
Unexceptionable? I don't know if that's Tyler, I think Tyler done went to Webster's on this one.
You the Webster Scarface, man.
But the Emmanuel Webster, really.
But I wonder if it's a situation where, since Nas has always kind of represented the less braggy, the less money kind of, not saying you got to be like dead broke, but just saying like that was originally, it wasn't so much of his background. I mean, yeah, he did the Escobar stuff, but it was never super duper money focused. Maybe that's it. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Bennett says spell check. Y'all get it? So, but you know what? Nas, you still here with me. I got crypto. You know what I'm saying? You got crypto too. You know what I'm saying? We got different amounts of crypto.
I got a little bit. I don't have as much as you, Nas, but I got it.
Yeah,
I got crypto night.
Nas and I, we like the same dude.
When you really think about it.
When you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? I have brunch on Sundays, and so does he.
I also have brunch on Sundays. You're not the only one.
All right, so with that said,
exclusive to you.
We're all on board with King's Disease. Let's slide that to the side because we've been live for a minute. Now it's hit time to get in. All right, man. Arckatron, like I've been waiting for.
It's time, y'all.
Kanye West dropped the album entitled Donda. All right,
Donda.
Or whatever. And then Drizzy Drake dropped the album.
Your favorite rapper.
Certified Lover Boy.
Look at how he said it.
And
I already know your feelings. Look at how he said it, y'all.
Man, I'll start off because these two listen to probably more of the album than I listen to. On Kanye's album, I got up to song number 9. On Drake's album, I got up to song number 9. That's as much as each of them I could take. Now I know if y'all are here.
Whoa.
What's up?
as you could take.
Yeah, that's all the
Oh
Kanye.
man, this is gonna be good.
That's all the Kanye and all the Drake I could take. Now we're gonna cut. I'm gonna cut this set for the after live folks, so they can have just this. Because I know they'd be like, man, I wanted the Nas. You know what I'm saying? Or they might be like, yo, I want
Arcka's responses, fam.
So, all right. Here's. I'll just say this before we get started.
You're such a purist, Mike.
I realize that Kanye West and Drake just aren't for me. So,
oh wow, you skipped it. The next track was the next song you should be listening to on Kanye's album. I realize that that music just ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know people gonna be like, "Oh, you old, you a hater or whatever." That might be true, but I just can't take it. So since I can't take it, I can only give my perspective on 9 songs for each of them. So I'll just preface it with that, and I'll let the other 2 go. Arckatron, please. What are your first impressions from Donda and from CLB? Oh, I'm just going to just drop my hot takes right now off top. Rip.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's go in.
Kanye. In terms of the content, for me, I can take it a little bit better than. Well, way better than Jesus King. I feel he throttled the Jesus is King talk very 3-4 gears down. He's like second gear, maybe first and a half. There's a gear like that. Added 5, what you like 5 on Jesus is King. This is too much. But I think with that, another message, like a positive, more balanced message and approach came from that, and that in turn made for me the musicality come back, because that was missing for me on Jesus King.
Okay. And Mr. Highsign. Sorry.
We want about the Drake album?
Yeah, Drake too.
He's not done.
I'm not done.
He's still going. He's only 17.
The music. If you're a diehard, let me start like this. Let me start positive. If you're a diehard Drake fan, you just love everything he does, you'll love this album. It's for you. If you like a somewhat passerby of Drake, you're oh, what's going on over there? Let me hear these songs. It might not be for you. It's not for me. He's rapping, he's singing. I never liked his voice, never really liked his song choices. I don't know the content. That's for me. But the music is cool. I can see why people would like it, but it's not for me.
All right, Mr. Highsign.
But that's just let me get to the rousing part after. I got
hot takes. Right. Okay. I feel like Donda. I feel like Donda is a bit of a return to form for Kanye. It's not necessarily for me like Kanye at full strength Kanye.
Oh, no way.
Because Ye's been doing this for a long time. So I do think with every artist, you see them plateau, and then you see them, hopefully, if things go well, they hang out on the plateau for a little bit, and then they come down the other side nice and slow, and they just give you solid performances to good performances for the rest of their career, good albums for the rest of their career. So I think we are on the other side of Ye's mountain, and Jesus is King for me was whoa, you almost fell down the mountain, fam, be careful. And
that was turbulent.
It was turbulent. And then Ye was like,
big dip.
Ye was like, no, I'm good, I got it, I'm good. And then he gave us Donda, and it was like, oh, this is a good album. I think Donda's good. I think Donda is a record that is kind of needed in the climate right now, where it's here's some life music. You can vibe to it on your way to and from work. You could play it if you want to turn up. It's something if you want to turn up. If you want to, if you're going through something, there's something you probably can connect to on this. If you It's something for all of the situations. If you fold clothes on some J. Cole type time, and there's something for you on there. It's more like the event that we've come to expect a Kanye record to be.
Okay.
Like
So
Apple iPhones.
I like that. It's not without flaws. It's not without flaws. It is on a bit on the long side. I can do without all of the part two. We're gonna get into all of that, but it is where I was not a fan of Jesus is King. I was not a fan. I'm not really a fan of Jesus at all, but I'm not a fan of that album.
Why you hating on Jesus? he ain't did nothing to you.
Hallelujah.
Jesus
Hallelujah.
Christ. Jesus Christ.
Jesus
Christ. the hammer of I don't know, righteousness. Or I don't know. Yo, that dude was real though. He was like,
he was in it. So yeah. So from that perspective, like I think that an album bearing his late mother's name, for an album that bears her name, it was a pretty decent return to form for Mr. West.
okay.
Certified Lover Boy, I'm gonna share Arcka's stance. It's not for me at all. There are some things, there's a couple on there that I like, but it's definitely not for me. But if you're like the world and Drake is the greatest of all times for you, this is just going to reinforce your opinion about it.
Okay, so back to me. Kanye.
First nine, front nine.
All right, Kanye. From the first 9 songs that I heard, I know Kanye's watching the show because Kanye watches the show, Drake watches the show, Nas watches the show. All of them, like you see how it be like views on the video, and you don't know who those views is. That's who it be people like
Don't let Nas down.
He named the album Views because he been looking at shows views.
Thank you. So, all right. So Kanye.
Yeah, don't let Nas down right now. It feels like you're about to let Nas down.
Oh no, Nas is great, down. but Kanye. I don't need you to do nothing else no more. You've done so much that I want to thank you for all you've given a whole bunch of good songs. All right. I think you've made enough.
You've given him the Tribe Called Quest title. Like, thank you for your service. We got it from here. That's what you're doing. Thank you for
your service. Don't do nothing else.
Wow.
I don't want to hear nothing. All right. Now, between you and Drake's album, okay, both of these albums are songs that I would put on in the background of some random store that sells hip hop clothes, but it's not black owned though. They're just playing music in the background. I would put that on both these albums. But Kanye, you're supposed to be better than that. This is similar to the argument I had about Black Thought's album. I expect more from you. I expect background music from Drake. I've never been super impressed with Drake. All right? Drake has always been like, all right. But you, Kanye, look, you've made so many songs that I enjoy, so many beats that are dope. You've collaborated with so many artists that I enjoy. You've even done things where you put 2 artists together really early on when people weren't doing that didn't really mix. Talking about Styles and Most and stuff like that. You really were bridging a very important gap. Oh, sorry. Yeah. A really important gap way back in the day. Well, I won't even say back in the day. It's not like you did it in the 70s, but still earlier before. But now you're making music that I feel is beneath you. You're making music that sounds like everyone else's music. All right? It's beneath you. It's the Kid Cudi issue. The same thing I had with his album. You used to influence these guys, and now you're the guy that sounds like you're trying to keep up with them. Bruh, innovate. I was like, all right, Kanye got a joint. It's named Donda. Oh, man, look, the last joint was whack. I couldn't even get through like 15 minutes of that, and the album won't nothing but 20 minutes long. But anyway, the bottom line is, I was like, yo, it's Donda. Oh, second I turn this on, I'm about to get blown away. And I turn it on, I'm like, why you sounding like everybody else? Kanye, look.
Going to jail tonight.
Kanye, don't make nothing else. Just chill out. Maybe manage some artists.
So
maybe go find some hot talent or something.
Donda, and that didn't do it for you.
That chant almost got your album turned off. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, that was all right. So let me throw this in the air. I saw a theory. Well, it wasn't presented as a theory. It was presented as like a musical concept for that particular track, the Donda chant. Mm-hmm. They said that, I saw this on IG somewhere. They said that Donda is said 58 times over the course of that chant. And that represents the age that she was when she passed. And that the cadences of the word were meant to mimic her heartbeat as she met her, as she walked to the end of her path on this mortal coil. The evidence, it was evidenced by video from one of the listening events where they played it, and then at the end on that 58th chant, the video, there's doves flying on the video. So it's meant to be like representative of her ascension, her transition.
Okay, now, thank you for that information. With that information, this is nothing against your family, your mother. I know your mother is very important to you. Our mothers are all important to us. And I never wanted you to lose your mother, especially not like that. But that don't make a song, man. It don't. It's tough to get through at the beginning of the album.
Let me ask you this.
I'm just saying it's tough to get through.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, come on, man.
No, I'm just asking you this.
All right.
How are you? Because I think I can speak for Sean as well.
Okay.
When I say that, like, I think that we listened to this and didn't break it apart into like a song by song thing, but kind of digested it more as an entire experience. Sure, it's songs, and sure, there are ebbs and flows and things we like more, but it's more like the Donda thing is a part of a bigger experience. But you're sort of looking at it like this song, like as individual songs. This doesn't do it for me. This does do it for me. This doesn't do it for me. This I never want to hear again. This is amazing. Is it fair to say that's how you were digesting it?
No, I usually listen to a whole album all the way through, and I want to get the full experience. But when it's like I'm listening to it and I'm like, hey man, this is going real long, and like I get it, but this is going real long. Then I'm like, cool, we getting into some music, and I'm like, this ain't doing nothing for me, but I'm sticking around. Then we getting some more music. I'm like, okay, I'm not really feeling it, but why is it sounding like everybody else's joint that's kind of in rotation in top 40 right now? All right, cool. Then we keep going on. I'm just like, so when we got to 9 tracks, I was like, yo, man, I think Kanye's just not.
You said Junior want the now will be my what? What'd you say?
I basically realized, you know what? I was like, Kanye's it's just not for me no more. I was like, I know there are millions that will pay to see Kanye at the stadium and stuff like that. It just ain't me no more. But at the same time, I got my chunk of Kanye life. All right, all before he started tripping and going crazy and changing his hair and then making sweatpants and you know what I'm saying, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got the Kanye chunk of life before that, so I can
did
always
you
go
say
back.
Tripping and before he started tripping and making sweatpants and stuff?
Well, I said before he started tripping, coloring his hair, making sweatpants, saying that Harriet Tubman was saying he did make sweatpants
before he started making sweatpants.
like, and before he started telling people that Harriet Tubman was putting people in slavery and stuff. Like everything before that.
Can we talk about this for? Can we all three talk about this for a second?
All right, go ahead.
What, like, is this just gonna be a thing forever?
Should it not be?
He said these things, right? Like he said these things, right? We know it. None of us agreed with them here. Like none of us agreed with them at all on any level, right? But like, is it enough? Like that's enough for y'all to be like, yo, nah, never.
Well, again. No, it's that plus the fact that none of the music he made after that. Well, actually, I think like one album before that, and then none of the music after that. I haven't liked it. I just haven't. So I honestly haven't liked it.
Let me ask a further question. Am I to believe that the opinion of the music was not impacted by the opinion of the man? Is that what we're going? Is that what?
If that was the case, if that was the case, I would throw out all of his earlier albums too, and that's not the case. So I'd say no. If that was the case, I wouldn't be throwing out. I'd also be throwing out like, well, I don't like him, so I don't like College Dropout, or Late Registration, or Graduation, or 808s and Heartbreak, or My Beautiful Dark Twisted, or Yeezus. Now, after Yeezus, he on his own. I've held on. I've tried to hold on. All right? I have tried. But after Yeezus, you are on your own. That's it. I can't help you no more, Kanye. Life of Pablo, you might have 2 or 3 on there, but like, how long? One, 2, 3, 4 albums. How much longer am I supposed to listen to songs that I don't like?
Junior Watanabe's on my re, and like that doesn't mean anything. He's on my re.
You didn't even get to.
Look, I love Jesus too, but dang.
You didn't get the remote control. You didn't get the moon.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
You get the moon.
Don't leave
like
so
that.
soon.
Man, like when you get to like remote control, like that section of the album is like super strong.
Yeah. Heaven and Hell, Moon.
So now what Kanye gonna be like, oh, you just didn't listen to the right part of the album.
No, I know. I'm
like
gonna
a
be
double
like that.
CD. It feels like a double CD to me.
It's not gonna be yay. I'm saying I think that before you finish the statement, like, yo, this isn't for me, that you should at least
finish the album.
Play the rest of it.
Okay, for instance, this is no like say if I'm like playing a video game and I don't like the video game, I don't need to beat it to know that I don't like it. I just be like, yo, I've been playing this game, I don't like it. Or if I'm eating a meal and I'm like, yo, this meal ain't good, I'm not gonna finish the meal.
I hear that.
False equivalent.
But you
it's a false equivalent.
A fair shake. A fair shake to be reviewing. You should listen to the full album. A fair shake, at least that.
Well, look, I'm giving a fair shake on 9 songs.
You may not like it after that, and that's fine.
Yeah, you know me. I'm never listening to album ever again. There's a bunch of albums on this show that we've done. But I'm like, I am never listening to this ever again.
You stay on that in that chamber.
I never want to hear any part of this album again, as far as Donda's concerned. Now, I will say this, Drake, Mr. Drizzy Drake, your first 2 songs, I think it was, first 2 songs, unless the first song has a change up. Your first 2 songs were listenable. They were listenable. But I mean, listenable is I'm not. I don't think.
Bro, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be my last show.
Oh, somebody has the audio. But what is it? But at the same time, Drake, I don't think listenable is what you're aiming for. Once again, it sounds like something that should be on in the background at like an urban clothing store. And when I say urban, I mean black, because that's what people say when they mean black. So, so, I mean, I guess it's better if you want to take it that much. I mean, but then after like the first song or two, that joint goes into the same realm of like it's in the background, and I don't think I could take much more of this. It's like I can't take it no more. I understand we review albums, but at the same time, if I get far enough in an album to know if someone's treating my ears a certain way long enough for me to know I don't need no more, I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna go no further. All right. They was disrespecting my sounds, my sonics. All right. So I get up in here, I'm like, yo, Drake, what you got? Drake's like, oh, I got a song at the beginning. It's got a little beat to it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the second song, I'm like, oh, so we doing the no drum thing again? You doing that too? Okay. So we're gonna do the no drum thing. All right. What you got after this? And then I was like, here we go.
So wait, so you said you listened to 9 tracks of CLB.
Yeah, it might be 9 and 10 or 9 and 8 but they were both like 9 songs. Yeah. And it's just not for me. That's why it's like I'm gonna let y'all Kanye fans live.
You have no.
I know y'all loving it. I know y'all Kanye people. Y'all like, oh man, it was the experience. I went to the Dodge Stadium or something like that. Wherever y'all was, all right, y'all went to Brooklyn or went to I don't know the whatever stadium, and you was like, oh man, it's the best music.
You went to Brooklyn Stadium.
Brooklyn Stadium. I don't know where y'all at. SoFi Stadium. Y'all was somewhere. All right. You was like, this is the greatest. Yo, I'm gonna let y'all have the album. Take it. All right, please, somebody take that album. I can't take it no more. Kanye, I'm gonna keep your early stuff, and that's it. I can't get excited no more about people that let me down 4 times in a row. Now, with that said, remember, this is the same guy that dropped Black Thought for my top slot on rappers for one album that I thought was a misstep. So I'm supposed to give Kanye what? Another one that I don't like? Come on, bro, you gotta go.
Wait, what happened with Thought?
Remember the last Thought album that what's it, Salim? No. It was who produced his last one, and we reviewed.
Oh, Salam
Remy.
Salam Remy.
Was it Salam Remy?
I think Salam Remy did the last one, but basically the last one, shouts out to Captain Marvel right now. But basically, the last one I did not like. I thought the beats were wrong. I thought his rhyme style was basically the same. That there was like a level of sameness in his rhyme style. So basically, after hearing the sameness of rhyming the same for the last about 5-6 years or so, and then the beats that I didn't like either, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to put Busta up and put you down at 2. I'm gonna have to, because Busta came with ELE 2. I can't let ELE 2.
I mean, the list should be a sliding list.
So really? Thank you. So I said swing it. So if I
felt like he wasn't checking boxes.
So if I did that to Black Thought, then come on, Kanye got it. If I don't like it, if I don't like it, I don't like it. Don't mean that I'm hating.
So let me
I just want to innovate and stimulate minds.
Let me ask you this. For NERDSoul,
all right,
has Kanye West officially fallen off? For NERDSoul, personally,
yes, he would have to basically. He would have to go back to he would have to really knock it out of the park for me to ever be interested in anything he did again. Like,
so you ain't even, you said you hated that J verse. You were like, yo, I don't even want that.
God, oh.
You said, I don't want to return to the throne.
No, I don't. that J verse, well, actually both J verses, because Jay has a verse on both of their joints.
He gave a better verse to Kanye than Drake. I don't like that Drake verse.
But I don't
really like that verse either.
I just wasn't impressed.
I do like.
I wasn't impressed.
Better,
I wasn't impressed. And but if Kanye was able to come back with a Super Saiyan level, spirit bomb, then I'd be like, yo. I'd be like, look, everybody listen up to Yeezus and then skip right to this. Don't even do nothing. Don't do nothing in the middle. Forget that. Just don't happen. and go Yeezus.
Go straight to
go
Dark
straight,
Fate. That's just...
You go straight to whatever the new hotness is at that time. Because it's just crazy, man. It was almost like it was a chore for me to listen to this. And I mean, Drake. Well, see, the thing is, I have low expectations for Drake. So Drake doesn't really bother me that much because I'm like, yo, it's a Drake album. When I heard this, I was like, oh yeah, this pretty much like the Drake status quo for like the last, whatever releases I've heard, maybe 2 or 3. It's kind of like the same Drake, but I'm used to Kanye like every time you come. Well, I mean, Jesus King was different. It definitely sure was different, but I'm used to him pushing the genre, innovating, and do like when you turn it on, be like, oh, yo, that I did not have that response. When I heard it, I was like, all right, you know what? This is a chant. It's kind of long, but he building up. Or he building up something hot. And then when the song came on, I was like, okay. Now I was like, well, the next one came
on. When the song came on, you did not feel like you were going to jail tonight.
No. I felt like he should have went to jail tonight. I felt like he should have put all his songs in jail. I felt like he should he's not, maybe he's not in right headspace, but I don't like it. I'm not impressed. I don't want to hear it never again.
You don't feel like God breathed on that?
No, I do not. I do not. I think he's lying.
God breathed on it. I know God breathed on it.
Well, I know God breathed on it, but you don't. You saying he did? You feel like
he lying about God's breath.
He should just go off the grid. You feel like he should just for a little while.
Yeah, no, for a long while. He need to get himself right.
Quit.
And maybe he need to go back to the old school. Maybe I know he be using mad technical stuff. Like get rid of everything. Just go back to like a beat machine or ASR 10 or something. Just strip down. All right, and just remove all. Maybe that's it. Maybe he got too many toys. Maybe he's too rich. All right. Maybe he has to like.
So he needs a 444. Let me strip it down. That's what you're trying to say?
Maybe. But either way, I don't like it. It was nah.
So you're saying,
in my opinion, we have 2 mediocre rappers that are extremely wealthy and popular beefing over a legacy that's not worth beefing over. That's what I think we got. But I know these ain't my guys. Like I know other people be loving. They be like, "Yo, man, Drake is the most realist," and I just like,
He's the realist. Okay.
I mean, I know it's not for me. I know it's not for me, guys. I know. Look, I feel like I could have had a better time listening to King's Disease 2 again. I could, you know what? Instead of listening to these 2 albums, I should have listened to King's Disease 1 and 2 again, and I would have had a much better time. Like
you really hated them 9 tracks.
I did not like a piece of it.
Not one.
They were listenable. It was like kind of like the music in the background. They were like, oh, there's hip hop on in here. Like that's kind of the feeling I got. It was like
if you're forced to choose one. Who are you going? Are you going to be a certified lover boy?
Yeah, Drake. This is we here for Drake versus Kanye.
Or are you going Donda?
Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go around the horn.
No. What album is better?
Oh, with me? Well, I've been speaking so long. Why don't I get some of y'all's intake? Y'all had the second half of the album.
It's a one name answer. It's just Drake or Kanye. Who album you like it better?
This is tough.
Oh, it's tough. What?
It's tough. Wow.
I don't like neither of them. Both of them are mediocre.
I feel like you said it was classic Lover Boy.
Classic Lover Boy.
You said the certified Lover Boy was certified because that first song you said he came out swinging, and then.
Well, the first song I actually did like, I can't remember. It was the first song and the second one where I was like, oh, I like how they did this this certain interpolation of the song. It must have been the first track. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it has like a Beatles joint.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I see where you going. What you got? And then I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's still Drake. So I guess
you talked about Kanye on the first bar of the first song.
Yeah, and then you once again, then you have the passive
Bar
aggressiveness
number 2 of track 1.
You have
we were talking about Kanye West.
Yes, then you have the passive aggressiveness of Drake. That's annoying. Shout to Tyler Bennett. Tyler said Nerd about to go through his midlife crisis. Tyler must be scared of like, Tyler, are you scared of getting old? Are you scared of getting old? Because Tyler always throws stuff about me being old on here. Are you scared of getting old?
I just said this. Jen and James, look in the chat, Mike. Read that. I literally just said that.
Like Drake and Kanye are like DC and MCU. Pick your poison. All right,
Kanye's MCU. Drake is DC.
You know what? You know what? I'll say this.
Facts.
I'll say this. At this point in their careers, I'd probably say, without hearing the rest of the albums,
Tyler
the rest
Bennett
of the,
he old man.
I'll probably say, is this a Drake? Is this a Drake day? Will I give it to Drake?
To jail tonight.
Will I give it to Drake? Drake did have one song out of 9, and Kanye had like none out of 9. So I guess Drake wins this one. But then Drake loses because Drake also doesn't have a string of like 7 albums that are good, or that I consider good. So I guess maybe you could say at this point in their careers, Drake is better, but Drake also doesn't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums in a row that I think are good. So on average, it's still Kanye sort of, but right now Drake is just better because he's not making songs that are like super in the background, just regular background.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
I'm gonna let you finish.
You're having me choose between. You're making me choose. Listen, real quick. Y'all are making me choose between squash and Brussels sprouts, both of which I hate. So, like, you're. Like,
wait, what was the first? What? In Brussels?
Squash and Brussels sprouts. Like,
Brussels sprouts are great. You're wilding right now.
Brussels sprouts will never be better than just some good roasted, either A, roasted broccoli, or B, grilled asparagus. That's just the real. I'm just being honest. It'll never be better. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But still,
what do you feel about
purist, sir? You really on purist timing right now. You really
What's your stance on cauliflower? I need to know.
Oh, cauliflower is a straight up hater. All right, cauliflower is trying to steal all the shine from broccoli because it's white. All right, and broccoli's green. So cauliflower is like, oh, sure, I'm gonna get the magazine cover.
Guess who's going to kale tonight?
Guess who's getting the kale tonight?
Listen, man. I'm tired of Kanye and Drake being thrown into the same ring.
True.
These are 2 different artists that are the only real similarity is that they're both massively popular pop rappers.
Mm-hmm.
They make different music for different people all together. I'm not listening to Kanye for the same reason that I would listen to Drake. But for some reason, it's like they keep sort of making this static amongst themselves, and then everyone buys into it. Like, yo, Kanye versus Drake.
Like that
Drake
video you sent.
Aubrey's coming. Kanye's scared. Or Aubrey's scared of Ye. What's gonna happen? Yo, nothing. It's not the same thing. This is white liquor, dark liquor. You mix them together, it makes you sick. It doesn't work.
It makes you sick.
Look at the chat, yo. Tyler Bennett, yo. What he said about you, yo.
He said, I never agree with Highsign.
I never agree with this man.
But I'm on one tonight, he said.
Oh, man.
I'm on it tonight.
I like fruit, I like cake, but when you put them together, it's not great. Oh, look, that's how I be doing it. But yeah, I don't like either of them, man. And Drake, I expected from. That's why you don't really hear me speaking about it much, because Drake, I've kind of, he came in the game, in my opinion, kind of being like, okay. But Kanye came in the game actually changing stuff, bridging gaps, kind of innovating, pushing the genre a little bit, doing some different stuff, tweaking old ways that people were doing that ended up getting kind of like copied way too much. But I mean, he was like doing things that were like slightly different, tweaking this, turning this around, a new take on this or that. And so I see him as someone who's kind of like he blazes trails or something like that. And then when I see him not blazing trails, it hits me more negatively than someone who's always been okay, still just being okay. I think that's the best I can say. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's the best way I can put it. Arcka?
What do you think, man? Let's talk about
Drake and Kanye.
Yeah, man.
It's Kanye in terms of the album, in terms of career right now for me. In terms of the rivalry, it's like that's his like little cousin or something. You know what I'm saying? Little brother or something, Like it's more like, is it really a beef? Is it really a rivalry? I mean, I remember they were talking about before, like how they wouldn't have the same producers, they wouldn't work with the same artists. Now it's like they work Jay-Z on both albums. Like,
they actually share a lot of the same features on this album.
Travis,
albums.
Travis,
Lil Baby's on both.
Ty
Dolla Sign's on both. Jay is on both.
Jay's on both.
Dirk is on both.
Yep.
I don't think Cardi's on Kid Cudi's on both.
Yes, Kid Cudi's on both.
They share a lot of the same people on the album, on both of their albums.
How do y'all feel about that? And do you feel that these features are kind of the expected features, or are any of these features that you guys got on these albums, do they feel like, oh snap, this was an inspired choice, or was it kind of like the expected industry choice because this person is hot and popular or polarizing?
There's a little of both to me. Like, yeah, a lot of the features on each of their albums are the expected guys because they're the hottest guys right now. But I expected them less on Kanye's record. Like Dirk and Baby and like, yeah, like of course you're gonna be on Drake. Like y'all are all young guys, all young popping dudes. Y'all all in the same clubs. Y'all all doing the same. So yeah, like a lot of them have worked together. Him and Baby, Drake and Baby worked together a bunch of times. There's a lot of like overlap with that over on that side, but not so much with Ye. Like Dirk and Ye is pretty good. Lil Baby and Ye is really good. A lot of those things I liked. Cardi and Ye is pretty good. I like it. I'm with it. Put through the weekend on there. I was like, yeah, it's 80.
He said through the weekend on there.
Yeah, let's get it. I love it. Young Thug's another one that's on both records.
Yes.
Oh, Thug.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, like I think it was a little bit more unexpected for Ye. Not like a surprise. Like, oh well, because these are again the hottest guys, and we're talking about pop rap and top 40 guys. So we got the guys running the era right now. We put them on the record. Yeah, okay, cool. But I just like what happened better on the Ye album. I think the songs were more compelling.
Okay. Now, a lot of people in the chat have been saying that, the Donda chant and everything set the tone for a very dark album. Do you guys feel that it was a much darker, maybe a tone-rich album as opposed to the Drake album?
Hell yeah.
I love the long pause and like. Hell yeah.
I was waiting to see if Arcka was going to go first.
I was looking at Lil Durk's real name and I think somebody just messed up on Wikipedia, like how he just added information in, because this can't be real.
Project Pat is on one of the albums.
He's on Drake's album.
What?
Project Pat?
Project Pat? Oh, all right. I see it. Shouts to the South, dude.
Look at you. You a certified lover boy. Look at you.
Someone must be messing up.
You a certified lover boy.
I love cat. I love it when we see cats that's like regular. I mean, not normally. You know what I'm saying? Shouted out in the industry. And it's like, oh snap, Project Pat.
I just went to the Dirk wiki. Yeah, somebody did what we did. Somebody did the edit real with the little.
Okay. I'm like, I know what an edit.
Yo, his name is crazy on wiki right now.
Hold on, let me see.
They got his name as Dirk Derek Digley Diggleson Banks.
Oh man.
His name is Dirk Derek Banks, but all of the other stuff that's the extra
like,
sauce on it, right?
Dirk Digley.
Diggleson.
Yo, man,
Dirk
hold on.
Derek Digley Diggleson.
Let me throw this in the chat because, oh man, this is funny. All right, so check out Lil Durk's.
This is why you shouldn't let the public edit wiki as freely as we can, fam. It gets
you gotta go through a process, man.
You should be a process to this, man.
Yo, man, that was
yeah,
good.
like we got standout people. We got my guy Baby Keem on Donda. We got Yachty actually has a pretty decent performance on Donda. We got Dirk, who I mentioned before. Fabio Foreign actually has a good feature on there. I like Jay's feature on there. We got Conway and Westside on the track, even though they did Conway dirty and only gave him 8 bars.
Oh,
he might only had 8 bars, and I'm glad.
Man only had 8 bars, and he was talking about.
But did we get any gunshot sounds on that song?
I don't remember. We probably yes, we did. Yeah, we did. We did. Boom, boom,
right,
boom,
cool.
boom, boom.
All right,
got
cool.
all that.
Cool. Just making sure we get the. It's just like if you got Jeezy, you can't do a Jeezy song without ha ha. Like you got.
We got Jay Electronica on there. Standout verse from him.
He was there without Jay-Z?
Huh?
Nothing.
He's not with. He might be.
I didn't know if he needed somebody to hold his hand through the verse. I was just, I didn't know if
we got Jay Elect, and we got the Locks on there.
Oh, all right, word, all right.
Got the whole Locks on the album.
All right, cool. Respect. So, all right, on scale of 1 to 10, for both albums, where y'all at? Starting with Arckatron. Scale of 1 to 10, Donda. Where you at?
Both albums or all 3?
Oh yeah, sorry, all 3.
Oh yeah. Let's start with Nas then.
Nas, I'll give an 8. Donda, I'll give a 7.5, and Drake, I'll give a 6.5.
Okay.
Right.
Hold on.
You know what? I'll agree with one of your joints, but Anwar, what you got?
I wonder which one. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna give King's Disease 2 an 8, a nice 8.
Yep.
Donda, I'm gonna give a 7. I really enjoyed Donda. I do think it's inundated by some of the track lists. I didn't need the Pop Smoke thing. I didn't like that version of the song. The version that came out for Pop Smoke's album, I rock with. I didn't necessarily need it again on the Ye album with no drums. I didn't need all the part 2s. I didn't need Marilyn Manson at all. I didn't need the track with Jay Electronica and the Locks to be separated into a version that just has Jay Electronica on it. And then later on in the album, there's the same song, but it has the Locks on it too. Like we could have just made it one song and there you have it. I didn't need all the part 2s at all. I didn't necessarily want the Baby feature. If the verse is good, I like the verse. I didn't need it. I'd rather have Jay. You gave me Jay in the beginning. We could just remove all the part 2s. So that impacts my score. So I give it a 7. And Certified Lover Boy, I don't want to score.
He with
It really
his score is
really
so
was
high.
not for me.
So
no.
So low. So low.
Quite the opposite. It really was not for me. I enjoyed. Let me look at the track list real quick. I liked.
He liked one song.
I like Fair Trade. I like TSU. I think I gotta listen back to it. I like the Yebba's Heartbreak joint. That joint's hard. I think N2D. One of the joints with Future I did. Like I like the one with 21. So I like a good like 4 or 5 joints. But the album's an hour and a half long. And I only
doesn't it feel like one of those older mixtapes to you? Like, does it have a mixtapey feel? The Drake joint. It feels like it's not. I will say this. From what I've heard, Kanye's album feels like an album. Like these songs feel like they go together. I don't like them, but they feel like there's a cohesive thought going on. Drake's, well, I mean, I'm able to delineate. Like it does sound like there's this is a one statement.
Get the cohesion.
Drake's album sounds like song. Like it's more of a mixtapey vibe, or maybe it's more of like the old like 90s style of where it's like, yo, let's just take all our hottest songs and put them together, and let's make sure they're all on the A side, and then on the B side it'll be like some introspective joints, and then we done. Like that kind of. My thing is, they created a sound, right? Mm-hmm.
Both of them. Kanye created a sound. Drake and 40 created a sound. Kanye has attempted, whether he's succeeded or failed, he's attempted every time he came out to evolve the sound in some direction, big or small.
Mm-hmm.
Drake has not attempted to evolve the sound at all. If he has, it's been very marginal. I've heard this record before.
Yeah, I will agree.
It's called Views.
Yeah.
It's called Scorpion. It's called, if you're reading this,
it's too late.
Late. So all right, then
it's called More Life. I've heard it.
I'll go with the score. King's Disease 2. I'm actually going to say I agree with the 8, but so much that 8.5. I really like that album. That's an album that I can really listen to over and over. And now I'm matter of fact, think about it now. Now I'm going to put them both together and see, because I know y'all be doing the sequences. So I'm going to put both of them together and see if I can match up the songs in a way that I like, and then see how they both sound together, but resequenced. All right, the NERDSoul remix, if you will. But
because I definitely like 2 a lot better than 1.
King's Disease 2 is a lot of fun to listen to, and I listened to it probably like twice on the first day it came out, and then I listened to it like again, like probably like a week later, and then I listened to it again like a day or 2 ago, basically just refreshing. So I give that 8.5. Kanye, this is tough, but at the same time,
you got to give it a 2.
Nah, I'm not going to give it a 2 because I haven't listened to the whole album. So these 2 scores I will give with a asterisk, because if I ever do feel like listening to the album, and I ever do, even though they both seem like they're long in the tooth, but so it's probably not going to happen. Like I wouldn't bet on it. But
they're both about an hour and a half long.
Yeah, that's not happening. So we're gonna go with the score from the till I tapped out. All right, because they both beat me down with stuff I didn't want to hear. Now, so
he gave you that hour and a half of Kanye subs. You wasn't with it. He gave you that full clip of Kanye. He gave you the extendo of Kanye.
The Drake passive aggressive kind of like subliminal rap style, and then even the whole thing behind it where it's like, oh, I'm gonna leak a song that like he used diss me or something. It's just like what, I don't know, man.
I want to publicly thank Drake for that new Andre 3000 verse that I had never heard. Appreciate you leaking that.
Yeah.
If you know anyone else who has an Andre 3000 verse that's on the cut room floor, please leak again.
Please leak
Pick it up.
I'm gonna go. This is weird. I'm gonna go 5 Kanye, 4 for Drake. Here's why. Kanye, even though I wasn't really feeling the songs, I do feel like he was making an actual album instead of trying to just make songs that were kind of like radio focused. Like, oh, this will work, this will work, this will work, this will kind of like that thing. So I do give him the credit, similar to how Arckatron does for an album. Like, yo, you finished the album, you made an album statement, I'll give you at least this base. So I gave him 5 as a base. But Drake, I don't think really made an album. I think Drake masqueraded a mixtape as an album. And you know how I feel about that. So now he got to dip down into 4. You know what? Back. I take more points. Because for all the people that actually make full albums and try to make a full musical statement in a piece of art, you know what? No, I'll give it a 3. Because I can't put them right behind the 5. That ain't fair. No, I give that a 3. So Kanye at 5. You actually did make an album statement. It ain't for me, but you did make it. And Drake, you got to set it a 3 because 1, yes, there's a level of sameness to, even though I think there's a level of sameness to Kanye's album, there's a level of sameness to what I've heard your career. So I feel like, similar to Anwar was saying, this is like that album, and then that album, and then that album. So 1, you're making the same thing over and over again. And 2, I don't think it's really an album. I think it's just a mixtape that you're passing off as an album because Kanye dropped something right now. So is it for me? No. I think I'm going to tap out of the Kanye game for now. And I'm going to tap out from I never was really tapped into the Drake game. So I guess that's just going to stay where that's at.
You're not a certified nerdy boy?
No, I'm not. I'm not a certified nerdy boy. No, I can't do it. Can't do it. I tried though. I gave however much time 9 songs is. I gave them time. It was just corny. It was just there's a difference because the Drake was more of corny to me, and the Kanye West was more of like, what's going on? Why aren't you pushing the boundaries of music? So there's a difference in the annoyance from both pieces. So yeah, that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
I just
going
feel like
in the comments, tell me that I'm
God
crazy.
breathed on it, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I be hating on God. That's my. You know what? I need to go back and realize that Jesus is King, and then come forward and then know that God breathed on it.
Did God breathe on your album, man? He didn't breathe on my album.
He ain't breathe on my album, so maybe that's
his number. I don't even have. I can't get in contact with God.
I mean, I do have Jesus on the main line.
I can't get God on the phone. He breathed on it.
Yeah, I know God breathed on this. I know God breathed. That's so interesting.
Yo, is it just me? I feel like that song has similarities to Eric B. and Rakim, Follow the Leader, and no one's bringing it up.
I'm gonna have to listen to that again. I think I see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah,
I think
we're going deep.
You're going layers deep on it.
Going to the bottom of the ocean.
You're going to because they used to think the Earth was flat. You know what I'm saying? And now
they used to think the ocean. They used to think that the Earth was flat.
Earth was flat.
But I said, hey, look at this. Look at the curvature, though.
Yep. And then
they tried to burn me at the stake for that.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to see that.
I said, yo, fam, I think the Earth is revolving around the sun.
Can I get another sentence or 2 of elaboration of this connection y'all twos is making?
Oh, all right. So
because I didn't make the connection. I need to know.
It's with it when it said, all right. So in the movie Boomerang, Martin's character and Eddie Murphy and David Alan Grier, they're playing pool, and Martin makes a point, and like Eddie's like, "Oh, you deep on that," and he's like, "Yeah." And then like, and he's like, oh, because they used to think the earth was flat because they were talking about pool. And he was like, the game's not over until the white ball drops the black ball off the board.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's the fear of the potency of black balls. And that's how we end the show.
Like, yo, you went to the bottom of the ocean on that.
Yeah.
It's like, see, can you get him?
Can you get him there?
Yeah. No, I remember that part, but I'm trying to figure out
you mean with the follow the leader thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I know the boomerang. Just
So
like,
God
what?
breathed on this. Like the song is predicated on that bass line, just like that heavy, dark, kind of growly bass line, right? So the pitch and the cadence of it is similar in my mind to Eric B. and Rakim's Follow the Leader, which had a bass line that sounds sonically similar to that and melodically similar to that.
Yeah.
It sounds melodically similar. And
wait, I don't have Follow the Leader in my head right now. I need a little more Follow the Leader. I don't have it in my head. I have 2 other songs in my head, not that.
Yeah. When you
But
cross
listen to him back.
You'll see what I mean when you cross reference. When you play them back to back.
Yeah. Y'all had to check that. So, guys, with that said, we've been on here for a long time. We're giving y'all a whole bunch of stuff. All right?
Yeah,
almost
a double clip.
So please, you know what I'm saying? So please, of course, first hit that thumbs up. Go and subscribe. And these young brothers are going to tell you where you can find them. Go there, buy albums, support Black business, and stop hating. So right over here, we got Anwar Highsign. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Anwar Highsign on all the things. Sometimes it has an underscore, sometimes it doesn't. But I'll tell you one thing. There isn't anyone else named Anwar Highsign on any of these platforms. So if you put it in the search bar, it's going to come up. New flows on the way. Be patient, brother. And yeah, check me out, man. Holla at me and on the thing.
Yeah.
And listen to the music on the things.
Hold on, y'all.
All right. And before we get to Arckatron, of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places, hit that thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs down. If you hating, if you hit that thumbs down, I'm gonna send God. He gonna breathe on your house. All right, you gonna blow it all.
That might actually be a really good thing.
Well, all right. So you know what? All right, the devil gonna breathe on your. All right, now I ain't gonna do that. That ain't right. The devil breathing on your house. I ain't gonna do that. That's wrong. I went too far. So all right, I'm gonna bring it back. Just so somebody gonna be like, oh, you a hater. All right, I'm gonna say it.
I know God breathe on this. I am back, Arckatron. All right.
So down below, Arcatron, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at arckatron.com. That's arckatron.com. Everything's all good in the hood. Good seeing y'all too, brothers. You know what I mean? In here, you know what I mean, representing. And
outside of the chat.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat.
Outside of just everyday digitizing, you know what I'm saying, our words, you know what I'm saying, so the man can read them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all.
Chat keeps it going. Love to
Look, so, of course, podcasts if you want to listen, Spotify for that music. Thank you for rolling through. We will have sports tonight, and I might talk Shang-Chi tonight. We shall see. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple hot takes for that. So, with that said, thank you for rolling through. We're going to leave y'all with Arckatron, PL Parker Lewiz, and we ain't playing. And we'll see y'all next weekend. From us to you, don't forget, Wu-Tang. It's for the
certified Arcka boy.
Oh. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
I'm the man, yes sir, that killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga thinks.
Just like the Parker Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the barrier, we outside. Help the barrier, we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain. chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding because we all came from Hunger Pain.